Welcome. Before I get started with my introduction, I do want to acknowledge some special guests that we have here present. I apologize if I don't mention your name. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. And there are a few that might not be here yet, but they will be showing up. So let me get started with our Chief Executive Officer for Los Angeles World Airports, Justin Urbachi. For the Supervisory Special Agent of Federal Bureau of Investigation, David Gates. Assistant Director in Charge for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Donald Alway. Executive Director for California Women's Law Center, Betsy Butler. Chief Digital Transformation Officer for Los Angeles World Airports, Ian Law. Deputy Executive Director of Information and Technology for Los Angeles World Airports, Aura Moore. Assembly Member for California 65th Assembly District, Mike Gibson. Field Representative of California 65th Assembly District, Moises June Aglipe. The Mayor for the City of Inglewood, James T. Butts, and also our former Deputy Executive Director of Public Safety and Security. Chief Operations and Maintenance Officer for Los Angeles World Airport, Michael Christensen. Council President for Council District 2 for the City of Los Angeles, Paul Krikorian. Director of Transportation for the City of Los Angeles, Sahak Yadalian. Councilwoman for Council District 11, City of Los Angeles, Tracy Parks. Senior Advisor for the Council District 11, City of Los Angeles, Dave Cano. And last but definitely not least, our California State Senator, Ben Allen. Can we give a round of applause for all of our special guests? Thank you. Again, if you missed it, I am Captain Carla Rodriguez for Los Angeles World Airports, and I'm going to get started now. Thank you. So welcome, distinguished guests and honored members of Los Angeles Airport Police. On this momentous occasion, we are dedicating the Tommy Scott Memorial Highway. It is both pride and sorrow that we gather here to pay tribute to an exceptional individual whose courage and sacrifice will forever be etched in our collective memory. We hope that this memorial will provide some comfort and solace, knowing that Officer Scott's legacy will be remembered by generations to come. Before I introduce our next speaker, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all those who have contributed to the planning and execution of this dedication ceremony. Your hard work and dedication have ensured that Officer Scott's memory will forever be enshrined in our hearts and on this highway. Now I want to introduce to you our very own Chief of Airport Police, Cecil Rambo. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you all for attending this ceremony. It really means a lot to us in the Airport Police Department and in the law enforcement community as a whole. Very special thanks to Senator Ben Allen and LaPoa at the LA Airport Police Association, who really fought long and hard to make this happen. It's not an easy process to make these dedications occur, and it's a years-long process, so thank you very much for that. Believe it or not, it's been 18 long years since Officer Scott lost his life and made that ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Today, we dedicate a section of the 405 freeway to honor his unwavering public service, courage, integrity, and dedication to his community and chosen profession. Officer Scott exemplified the very essence of what it means to serve and protect. Every day he put on his uniform, ready to face the unknown, keep our skies safe, and to ensure the well-being of all those who travel through and work here at LA World Airports. He embraced his duty with passion that inspired all of the people who knew him. As we reflect on his legacy, we're reminded of the sacrifices made by those who choose a life of service. We are reminded of the risks they willingly undertake to protect and safeguard our way of life. Officer Scott's commitment to duty and his selfless action serve as a constant reminder of the noble yet dangerous profession only a very few of us in society have the privilege of having. The dedication of the section of the 405 freeway symbolizes our enduring gratitude for Officer Scott's service. Every time we pass that stretch of road, we will remember his bravery, his sacrifice, and the values we all hold dear. It's a reminder that all heroes live on, not only in our hearts, but also in the very fabric of our communities. We can't forget that Officer Scott's family continues to feel his loss, not just in the span of years that it's been, but day to day, week to week, month to month. We all stand together with his family, offering our support and our gratitude for his sacrifice and for their strength, sacrifice, and resilience in suffering through his loss. Dedication ceremonies are a moment of reflection, unity, and gratitude. As we honor Officer Tommy Scott, let us also honor all of our first responders and reaffirm our commitment to supporting those who protect our way of life and uphold our Constitution, ensuring that their sacrifice is never forgotten. May Tommy's legacy guide us, and may God continue to bless his soul and continue to watch over all of those that are dedicated to the lives of service for others. With that, it's my honor to bring up a man who basically is a living legend here in Southern California. Inglewood Mayor James Butts is a man who has decades of demonstrable dedication and commitment to the public service that is unparalleled. Mayor Butts has literally transformed the city of Inglewood into a world-class entertainment, sporting destination, and economic hub. Mayor Butts was also once the Deputy Executive Director of Public Safety here at LAX and is considered a part of the Lawa family moving forward. We are honored to have him to say a few words for Officer Tommy Scott. I'd like to bring up Mayor Butts.
Thank you, Chief. It's really an honor to be here. I worked for 3 different cities, and I spent close to 5 years here. And I'll have to tell you, coming back, it's such an honor to be invited back because I made a couple observations. One, this building, which was just a concept when I was here, I fought to get a commitment that we would build a new police building. It was supposed to be built down near the fire station, and it's moved a couple miles away or a mile away. I also observed that everyone that I hired or was an officer here when I was here is now either an assistant chief, a captain, or a lieutenant. Boy, doesn't that make me feel old. I noticed that the only human being on this planet that loses more hair but grows a bigger mustache is Marshall McLean. What is up with that? You know, you guys, when we opened SoFi, we were going to need more police officers than we have in Inglewood that could work the overtime. And the first agency we reached out to was Los Angeles Airport Police. So I would say that more airport police officers saw more football games than any other police department in the country. You know, when Tommy lost his life, it was 2005. I was the chief of police in Santa Monica. And I was invited, I think, by Marshall McLean to speak at his service. And I'll say what I said then. No greater love hath a man than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends. And he has always been revered and honored here from that day. And now, 18 years later, he is eternally memorialized with his own sign. And so, on behalf of the city of Inglewood, on behalf of myself and my 50 years of law enforcement and municipal service, we once again honor this great hero. And I honor the airport police because you guys are part of the fabric of my DNA. So take care, all of you.
Thank you so much for that, Mayor. And so right now, I want to introduce someone that was close, that knew him very well, his classmate, Sergeant Sasheen Cooper.
Good afternoon. My name is Sasheen Cooper, and I am one of Tommy Scott's Police Academy classmates. But more importantly, he was my friend, and today is a very special day for me. This dedication will be a permanent fixture that truly signifies that Tommy will never be forgotten. For the members of the Airport Police Department, this day validates Tommy's courage and sacrifice and ensures his legacy will live on in the hearts, minds, and actions of each of us as we safeguard the airport community. To our public safety partners and the airport community at large, this dedication will be a standing beacon that Tommy served and represented the law enforcement profession in the highest of ideals and standards. And he was the ultimate example of service before self. There's so much to be said about Tommy's positive character and the impact that he made, but we'd be here all day. So I'll just say this. Tommy was a dedicated coworker who loved his job as much as he loved people. We know this because anyone who came in contact with him, they all had the same story. They would speak of his professional yet warm personality, his genuine smile that was a permanent fixture on his face, and his willingness to help everyone, no matter where they fell on the economic or social spectrum. Tommy was just an all-around great person who served the aviation community with pride, enthusiasm, dedication, and integrity. Tommy E. Scott is truly missed and will never be forgotten. I want to extend a huge thank you to our Chief, Rambo, our command staff, the Airport Police family, Marshal McLean, Senator Allen, and all who are here today celebrating Tommy E. Scott, a loving son, brother, friend, and our coworker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sasheen. So I did mention it before, but I want to make sure that I mention it again because I did mention some names, but they were not here present, and I want to ensure that they know that we appreciate their presence and taking the time to be here with us. So again, our Chief Executive Officer for Los Angeles World Airports, Justin Nerbachi. Thank you, sir. And where is it? Sorry. And our council president for this Council District 2 for the City of Los Angeles, Paul Krikorian, please. Thank you once again. So my next speaker is someone that really cares about making sure that we bring all this together and that we memorialize Officer Tommy Scott. He's put a lot of work from the beginning until now, and so he has been incessant in the pursuit. And the reason why many of you guys are here today is because of Officer Marshall E. McLean, who is the president of the Los Angeles Airport Peace Officers Association. Marshall.
Thanks, Cap. Tommy and I shared the same middle name, and we were both FTOs around the same time. And I would try to have my sentiment like his, but I never could come close. The most interesting thing about Tommy is like others have said, is whether you knew him 10 days or 10 years, he made you feel like family. After his passing, all of us got to meet his dad. And once you met his dad and Mr. and Mrs. Scott, you saw where that came from. He was more concerned about how we were holding up as survivors than losing his son, who he called his best friend. Fortunately, we lost his dad a couple years ago, and his mom actually had a stroke, so they obviously could not be here. But I do feel that they know that this happened because this was a long time coming. I thank everybody that's here that supported us before, who still supports us. I see you, Commander Crutchfield, who always was holding it down, and the actual first president, Mr. Turner of the Police Association, is still thriving and surviving. So I'm glad that you're here. I do want to take a moment and acknowledge the chief that hired me, who just passed away from a stroke, and he actually attended to being here. Bernie Wilson just passed away, for those of you who knew about it. He was a great man. And he also had that temperament where he remembered everybody's first names, no matter how many times you met him. So without any further ado, I want to acknowledge Senator Allen, who came out to the Tommy Scott Memorial Run, who the chief is saying that we're going to help bring that run back, and that you've been a great supporter of ours, and thank you for having this happen. So if you could come up and say a few words, appreciate it.
Your mustache is indeed strong. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone waiting for me to get here. If anyone understands plane delays, it's the airport police, I guess. I literally just got off a plane and here I am. I wanted to be a part of this. This has been a really tough year for me personally. I lost my father earlier this year and have been dealing with all of that. Memorial, and funeral, and then thinking a lot about legacy. When Marshall first called me about doing this, it was something that I really wanted to do. I learned the story of Tommy. I learned about the horrific circumstances of his death, where he was just trying to keep the airport safe from a deranged person, and how incredibly unfortunate it all was. And for me, getting this bill across the finish line, it's a very bureaucratic process. Betsy knows about getting these kinds of things done. It really does take a lot of work and time, even if it should be something relatively simple. For me, what's the significance of this? It's a sign, right? It's not going to bring Tommy back. But I think about the people who are driving by on the freeway, who are going to take a look at that sign, and most of them are going to know immediately what that means. They're going to know that that was someone who died in the line of duty. And a certain percentage of them are going to take the time to Google his name and learn a little bit about him and reflect a little bit on his sacrifice and his sense of duty and what he gave to keep our community a little safer. And I just think that that's the least we can do for someone who sacrificed for us. And it's really heartening to see community leaders here, council member, assembly member, mayor, those of us who've run for office and are serving the broader community, because I think we all recognize what an important sacrifice this young man did. He gave. And I think about the pain that my family is going through with my father having died, and he's a man who lived a long, healthy, happy life. Not long enough, but a wonderful, successful life. And then to see just to feel what it must have been like for Tommy's family to see him cut off. Look at this beautiful guy, right? Beautiful smile, incredible service, sense of service. He worked for the Parks Department, Parks and Recreation, as an aquatic supervisor, helping with the pools around town, helping to make sure they were accessible for kids and for families that they could enjoy swimming. And then, of course, took his service to the next level by joining the airport police after leaving the Parks and Rec department. So this is going to be a sign that will be up on the freeway forever. We're going to, because of SCR 39, this portion of the 405 freeway will be dedicated to the memory and the honor of the legacy of Tommy Scott. I do want to personally extend my deep thanks to Marshall McLean for his long-term friendship, for standing up for the officers here, but also for reaching out to me and engaging me on something that was really dear to his heart. I think we all realized we needed to do this, and he called me and I said, "Let's do this. Let's work this together." And it took a long time, as I say, but we were able to get it done. And thank you to the chief too, and all the support of the department. So you all work every single day to make sure we're safe from harm. I think for me, this sign is about reminding people in the general public about who you are, the risk you take, and the selflessness and sense of service and sacrifice that are at the heart of this body of officers and embodied by this incredible young man who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our safety. So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for memorializing him. And thank you for keeping our airport safe. Appreciate you, and God bless. God bless Tommy Scott.
Well, this concludes our dedication ceremony. is there any closing remarks? But other than that, thank you again, every single member that is here today for taking the time to be here and do this together as a family. You are more than welcome for appetizers, refreshments down this door once I open it, and then continue to enjoy the company that we all come together. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of the day.